Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. I've been really busy this week, so I haven't really had the time to make a new video or record a voiceover, so I thought I'd just do something simple while I edit and think of ideas for the other 200 things I have planned for this channel. Today's video is gonna be a lot like the drawing process video, which by the way is doing very well and already got 100 views, so thank you guys so much. I didn't really think that 100 people would really want to hear like, oh, this is how I color and this is how I draw, especially because, you know, I'm not a professional. I can't describe things in a way that sounds like I know what I'm doing. I'll just be like, I use this color because it looks nice and I did this because I liked it. So I thank you guys so much for actually giving that video so much feedback. Like, it makes me really happy, and now I know to keep doing more of those videos in the future, so thank you so much. Also, I appreciate you guys still being able to watch the video without complaining about how bad my audio is. I mean, I assume that I'm doing all of the complaining for you, because in my bio and my description, like, I'm always complaining about how badly my mic works and how much it sucks and how it ruins the quality of the video, but you guys didn't really seem to mind, so I thank you for that. And today I'm gonna be using my microphone for another video, so if it sounds like I'm smacking it, I'm really not. That's just how it like emits sound, because it's just that bad. But the more you guys support my videos, the more likely I'll be to actually get a microphone that sounds good. So thank you for your support, and if you continue giving it, then I can stop beating this microphone up, because it definitely needs an upgrade. And it doesn't necessarily help that I edit like a 500-year-old grandma. Like, I don't do much with my editing that could make the video any more interesting, so I apologize for that. But if I could get the mic fixed, that would at least add something. So you want a new mic, then continue doing what you're doing and maybe I'll be able to get one. But I'm gonna stop blabbing about the support that you guys have been giving me, because if I start, then I won't stop, and that would be for a later video when I get a little bit bigger, and then I can actually say all that stuff. But I thank you, and now time to talk about the actual video. So today I thought it would be fun to do a video about character design process and how I do my character designs. I'm pretty sure I said this in the past, but I love character designing and making stupid stories, and it's my thing. I love doing it, and I have a really big passion for it. So the way this all started was that I was drawing side profiles of two girls. I didn't know what to do with it, so you're gonna see me playing around with hairstyles and stuff before I actually get it. But at first I wasn't really sure, so then I went on Discord, and then my friend Azumi, who you should totally subscribe to because she's really good at animation and she's one of my best friends ever, she suggested that since one of them looked happy and the other one looked sad, that I should base them off comedy and tragedy masks, which are those really iconic theater masks you see all the time that represent theater. So I was like, oh yeah, that's actually a really cool idea. So I went on Pinterest, I looked at a bunch of campy theatrical outfits, and then I started drawing something. And the first thing I did was exaggerate their expressions, because it's the happy mask and it's the sad looking mask. Like, one of them looks really joyful and the other one looks like it wants to die. So obviously they actually have to look that way. Obviously, I could have went farther with their expressions, but I just decided to keep it simple and just make it look like they were really exaggerated versions of what it would look like if you were really sad or if you were really happy. Except for the happy, I decided to not make it like super joyful and cute, and instead make it kind of creepy in a way, because I imagined that she'd be so joyful that she'd become ecstatic and then slowly like move into insanity, which I will explain later. But for now, we're just gonna discuss the character design, but I'll get to all of that later. For the first time in a long time, when I went on Pinterest to look at campy theatrical outfits, I actually didn't get a lot of inspiration. And I was really just about to give up and just maybe look the next day for it, but then I found a pair of OCs that someone made. I don't really know who drew these, but obviously I'm not going to take my own credit. If you know who drew these, then you can let me know. But I found these really cute, like adorable designs on Pinterest of these two characters, and I decided to take some of the design elements for them to incorporate into these two's outfits. And I'm sure you can see them there, but I wanted their outfits to be different despite them looking the same. And I forgot to mention, but I don't think I really had to mention this, but these are actually twins. They're twin characters. I don't know. I've never been somebody to draw twin characters because I never enjoyed drawing the same thing, but for this specifically, I thought it would be fun to make them twins. So they're twins. But like I said, despite them looking the same, I wanted them to have different design elements. So for comedy, which I'm calling the happy one since that's the name of the happy mask, I gave her some little, like, I don't know what to call this exactly, but I wanted to give her something resembling like curtains of a show or a play that you'd see in a theater. And I gave them to her sister too, but for her sister I made them more long and exaggerated because I really wanted it to like emphasize the fact that she's sad, she's to herself, she's introverted, stuff like that. And I imagine that Tragedy, which is the sad sister, would use the little curtain theater thing to cover her head and her face sometimes, and even wipe her tears when she's crying, which I will get into later. But for that specific design element, I wanted it to be different on them because they'd use it for different things. Like, I think that comedy would just use it because she likes how nice it looks, it makes her happy. It's campy, it's theatrical, and she likes how it feels. It makes her feel elegant and extravagant. But Tragedy would use it as a blanket when she's feeling uncomfortable, which she always is, and whenever she wants to cry and she can't really find a tissue. So I thought that would be something fun to incorporate. And I also wanted you to be able to tell them apart somehow. So I looked at a couple of the happy sad mask, and especially the emoji. The happy mask is orange and the sad mask is blue, which is, you know, colors usually associated with those emotions. So that being said, I decided that, on their little brooches, one of them should be orange and the other one should be blue. So it's better and easier to tell them apart. So I did that. And I also gave their outfits some significant changes, like I said about the curtain thing, but also just their outfits overall. If you look at the drawing, there's these two, I don't want to say chibis because they're not really chibis, but let's just say tinies, okay? We're gonna call them tinies now. There's just small versions of themselves that are also in the drawing because I wanted to use those to figure out the outfit before I started coloring the outfits in the little side profile ones. So Tragedy has these big like bloomer pantaloon looking things. I forgot what they're called. I'm gonna forget what a lot of things are called on this channel, but they're really big, like fluffy looking pants, and I thought it would fit her and her personality, and they just look really cute. And for comedy, she just has a nice little elegant dress because she likes being elegant, she likes being happy, and I imagine she likes twirling around and seeing her dress twirl around. But Tragedy's just sad and lonely all the time, so she's just wearing big old pants. And lastly, I added a happy earring for comedy and a sad earring for Tragedy of the masks themselves, and also a little band around her shoulder for Tragedy of the two masks, because I imagine that not only would this make it easier for them to differentiate, but like this would play in a lot with their characters, which I am about to talk about. Oh, and before I talk about that, I just want to talk about the hair and makeup and stuff. I imagine these are just their like outfits that they usually wear, but in terms of like when they're performing, then they're gonna go all out. Like, you're not even gonna be able to tell that they're the same people once they have their performing makeup on. But this is how they look, I guess, to go to sleep, to wake up, stuff like that, to walk around their mansion, stuff like that. And also their hair, I decided to go, you know, short, which I never really do. And I really like that whole look of like black girls, and then but they don't have long hair and it's just like short hair that goes to their neck, and then they have like really cute edges, but it's like blonde. So I gave them that look, but I used my hatching technique to make them look really medieval and cool looking because I thought it would fit their characters more if they were just really heavily shaded with hatching. So, you know, you'd think because I'm black that I'd actually know what these hairstyles are called, but I'm just being like, oh, you know, the really cute blonde one. So, sorry for sounding stupid. I never script my videos, but this is just what you're gonna get until I actually feel like scripting, which I probably won't. But finally, we're going to talk about the most important thing about character design, which is the story. I mentioned in my drawing process video that usually when I'm drawing my own characters, I really like to incorporate some sort of stupid stories to them because, you know, I also really like writing stories. It makes me happy, and it also makes them easier for me to draw because I feel like if you know the personality of a character, then it's easier to draw them in certain poses, doing certain things, and, you know, etc. But when I finished the piece, which took me like, 7-8 hours, so I guess I was just really tired, but when I finished the piece, I had no idea what story to give them, so I put the finished drawing on Discord, and then Azumi, again, suggested something and gave me the story for them, so I'm gonna tell it. I don't really give credit for this, I'm just adding some little things that I headcanon. So there were a man and a woman, and they really wanted to have a child, alright? So there's this couple, they're strolling through the woods, they're mourning over the fact that they've been trying to have children for a while now, and they really, really wanted twins, but, you know, the wife was barren, she couldn't give birth, so I feel like I'm, like, talking about the Bible, but I'm not, but anyway, she couldn't make babies, right? Then they're in the forest, she sees a very, very creepy looking person, and this person's like, hey, you want twins? You can have twins, but in the condition that they can only feel one emotion and I get to choose what it is. So these parents, being really desperate and not knowing how much this could affect their children, were like, yeah, sure. A creepy person picks happy and sad and does some magic stuff on the barren lady, and then months later she gives birth to 2 beautiful little girl twins, and she's happy until she realizes that one of the babies comes out with the most unsettling smile on their face, and the other one just comes out crying and crying and doesn't stop crying for a very long time. As the girls grow up, they realize that they have a love for theater, but as they grow up, the parents also notice how inconvenient it is to only have your kids show one emotion, especially because they aren't really capable of showing any other emotion. So if happy's sad, happy's just gonna start laughing, and if sad is happy, then you're just gonna see a lot of crying. So it was very annoying for the parents, and I'm sure very unsettling to deal with. So when they're finally old enough to take care of themselves, Comedy, who came out of the womb first, so I'm just gonna say she's the older one, and Tragedy go to the woods and move into an abandoned mansion where they perform all of their plays together, and they live together on their own because they were never able to make friends since they only feel one emotion. They were always called freaks. They were never able to bond or form lasting connections with people because of their lack of emotions. So they decided to go to the woods and just live alone where they wouldn't be judged, and they can do the only thing they could both agree on, which was theater. Comedy writes all of the scripts because she hates how her sister always makes them so depressing, and Tragedy always plays the sad characters because that's what they're best at. And they're the only people that do these plays, by the way, so they play every single character, and Happy usually ends up doing more of the characters, and Tragedy just does the sad ones. They would have a really weird sibling dynamic because it's not that they hate each other, but it's not that they love each other either, because it's hard for them to understand each other when they have a curse on them, where they can only feel one emotion and nothing else. Anyone going to their plays would go for the sole purpose of making fun of them, calling them freaks, saying that they're the worst things to ever be creative and that they're monsters for not being able to show human emotion. And all of this makes Comedy go deeper and deeper into insanity, like I mentioned earlier, as you can see by her facial expression that she's just so happy that it's actually scary. And no major changes really happen to Tragedy except for her having like the worst depression that you've ever seen. But they really are some cool characters, and I thank Izumi for, you know, the story idea and for giving me the idea to make them in general. And that is the end of the speed paint, and all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to keep talking. I hate like still talking when the speed paint ends and it's about to end. So I hope you guys enjoyed the speed paint and my character designing process. I will definitely make more videos like these. And it's the end of the video, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope my repeated stuttering and me beating up my mic, not intentionally, wasn't bothering you too much. Like I said, I don't script anything. I feel like scripting, I'm not Kalimara, so every time I try to do it, it just sounds unnatural, no matter how good I am at actually saying something that I read. And I wouldn't want you guys to think that I'm a robot, okay? I already hate AI because of what they did to art, so I don't want you guys to think that I'm just some robot that doesn't know how to talk. I'd rather think that you think that I'm a human that doesn't know how to talk. So I hope you enjoyed this video full of me stuttering and talking about two characters that have the stupidest concept known to man. Like I said in the intro, I'm planning a lot of stuff. Like, for example, I'm planning a new series and also trying to add on to the art YouTubers that inspire me. I want to do more drawing process videos and maybe a draw with me video, but I'm not sure how to record that, so I'm not sure about that. And I want to do lots of videos about writing and also talking about bad Netflix shows, because sometimes I watch them just because they're so bad, and I'd really like to take the opportunity to talk about them one day. And more animatics, especially because I know this has nothing to do with the video, but I love Ash Nico. All of her songs I feel like could be used for animatics, and she just dropped an album full of songs that I'd want to use for one. So maybe you'll see one, maybe you won't, depends on my motivation. But anyways, I'm done blabbing, so thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And if you're not having a wonderful day, then me too, and I hope your day gets better soon. I have a lot of big projects coming up for this channel soon, but one of my biggest goals is to spread positivity, so I hope all of you are doing well, and I will see you all in the next video. The next video is probably just gonna be me talking about what I have in store, because that's probably what I'll have time to do. But yeah, see you all next time. Goodbye.